Hello, Gothic literature lovers and horror fans. I am J.S. Larmore, aka Jax, and today in the studio with me, I have Amanda Stockton and Alexis Carroll. They are the co authors of Things Magical Under the Moon. It is a grim anthology of blended grim fairy tales and retellings. They'll be here with me tonight to talk about it. Here's a quick blurb for me to share with you. To those who wander the woods alone, be wary of all things magical under the moon, from werewolves to vampires, fairies, and spirits, even the rumblings of dragons. Take to heart what warnings you can from these six grim tales. As you can see, those are the mashups available. And they gave me this exciting piece of art, not yet revealed, to share with you guys today. This is art from inside the anthology. So, without further ado, welcome to Ravens and Writing Desks. Hello, Amanda Stockton and Alexis Carroll. Welcome to Ravens and Writing Desks. I'm super excited to have you both here. Um, Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for inviting us. Thank you for having us together at the same time.
Yes, I'm so excited to have you guys here. I've been a big fan of Amanda's art for a long time, and then you guys announced your book, and I was so excited. I can't wait for it to come out. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves, hobbies besides writing, and what you do in your off time, stuff like that. So, tell us about yourselves.
Oh, um, well, I paint a lot. That's kind of what I do most of the time. It's kind of funny because art was originally just meant to supplement my writing, and then it just kind of took over. It's kind of funny. Yeah, that's most of what I do is just art or writing or watching Lord of the Rings on repeat.
Nice.
Okay. It's my turn now? Yeah. All right. Well, let's see. I am a hairstylist. I do streaming of video games and writing. And I do a little bit of everything for hobbies. I sew, um, glue things, lots of things. But writing has actually taken over as my main hobby, and it's what I enjoy the most. And any chance I get to tell some dark, twisted fantasy stories, I jump at the opportunity.
I love that. And I love your hair. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Did you do that to yourself?
Yes. I
Well,
did
you
it
did
to
amazing.
myself.
That's amazing. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, I call her my hair wizard. It feels like magic sometimes. It does.
You sound like me. My hobby is collecting hobbies, so
Yes.
um,
Yes. I've been
I
posting
just
all
keep
week
getting
about
more.
I've been posting about embroidery and cross stitch because
Yeah.
for a year now I've been like having this deep desire to learn it again. But I'm like I have so many hobbies that I haven't finished like a project in. I'm like I can't dedicate a new hobby yet. Not
What?
mentally anyway.
I know. I started a rug for my living room that I was crocheting, and then I decided I was going to Comic Con, and now I'm working on my costume for Comic Con. So the rug's in a bag, put away. I'm the same
Priorities.
way.
You'll get
Yep,
to it later.
sometime. So tell me about things magical under the moon.
A bit of a tongue twister. Originally, it kind of spawned out of our response to being rejected when we both submitted to the same anthology from somebody else.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. So when we were both rejected, which kind of worked out because I was like, well, what if one of us gets in and the other one doesn't? Then like, it's only natural to feel sad that your friend didn't get in too.
Yeah.
Um, but when we both got rejected, I was like, this sucks. And I was like, I was like, well, what if we made our own anthology? And then we kind of laughed about it. And then one day, because we're both in a lot of cover art groups on Facebook, and one day she sent me one, and she was like, and I was like, and then we were like, that's the one. That's it. So we got the cover, and then we're like, okay, now we need more stories because we only had 2.
I love that. Something positive came out of a negative situation. That's awesome.
Yeah. And then we kind of like took control of it ourselves because it's like nobody could reject us but ourselves.
Right?
That's exactly right. So tell me a little bit about the stories in it. Let's start there. Tell me about what's the content.
Well, we each wrote 3 different stories. They're not happy.
Okay.
They're fairly. My stories, I think, in particular, I start them out like right after or around like some horrible traumatic event, and then it's about these women deciding to take their power back and burn down the world.
Yeah,
Nice.
to be in control of themselves rather than to be victims.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, mine are just kind of what I would want if I was in a fantasy world, basically.
Yeah.
The original submission call was to mash up fairy tales, and so a lot of ours are still the same concept of mashing up different fairy tales together, and so they're like based off of some Grim tales and some other tales that we just found. Like one is the Irish folklore that I found.
One of my stories is a Red Riding Hood meets Cinderella, and it takes place during a trench warfare bout. And of course, my main character is a woman, so you automatically know it's like a whole different world. And but then we get werewolves, and so that's
always a good time with werewolves.
That's awesome. It's like so mixed up, but and unhinged, but in the best way. Just everything going on all at once. I love that.
Yeah. So and mine are kind of the opposite of Amanda's.
It's true.
Amanda's are very like rising up and taking control of your future, and mine are very
they're a little more.
They're very be wary of.
Are we allowed to cuss?
Yes.
Hers are kind of like a fuck around and find out story.
Pretty much.
Okay.
Mine are very like be careful with being naive and not understanding people might have altered motives, you know. Like just be very careful. People want to use you out there.
Right. I like that.
Yeah.
I like how that mixes together.
Yeah. They flow pretty good, I think.
I think so too.
And they're all such different settings too that it doesn't feel like they're just like a big blur of the same world, but they could possibly be like on the same planet maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. But definitely not like next door neighbors.
I love that. That sounds really awesome. Like I'm a big fan of fairy tale retelling, so that sounds like something I really, really want to read.
Yes.
Yay.
So are you both like really into fairy tales and that's how this came about, or is it just because of that it just happened to be fairy tales?
I
think it was kind of a bit of both.
Yeah, a bit of both. I saw the anthology call first,
and
then I was kind of like, oh, I love Grim Tales. Like I have a big hardcover copy of them. And then I wrote Amanda like, hey, you know, like I know you haven't been like publishing short stories at all. Would you like want to try it with me? And she was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll try it out. And so together we kind of like poked around looking for obscure fairy tales, like a little bit lesser known ones, and then we mixed them with like the more well known ones.
Right.
So like I have the Fox and the Wolf, which is once you hear the tale, like you're kind of like, oh yeah, I know this tale, but like offhand, most people are like, I don't know that one.
Yeah.
And
well,
it worked out perfect timing because I had just been gifted a book of Grimm's darkest tales. And so I'm like, oh my God, I just got this book. So it's like, thanks.
That's awesome. Their stories are super dark. I started getting into them when I did Quill and Crow's Grim retellings, and they're twisted.
They are. They're
Oh my god.
I can't think of any that have a true happy ending in them. They
Yeah.
always have some sort of like, oh, and they lived happily ever after, but they didn't have feet or something.
Yeah.
They lost their eyes, or
their entire family is dead.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Cinderella's stepsisters lost their feet and their eyes.
Yeah.
exactly. Or like Rapunzel and how her, like, she was kidnapped from her family, basically, you know, so her family never found her.
Right.
Like there's like some happy ending, but it's kind of how you look at it.
Perspective.
What is your favorite fairy tale then that you've read?
I think I'm really partial to Rumpelstiltskin. I don't know what it is about it, but I really love Rumpelstiltskin.
I love that one too. Actually, that's one of the mashups in one of mine.
Is it?
And that one does have a female lead character.
It's good.
That's awesome. And then that's what mine was in Grim and Dread with Clone Crow. It was a Rumpelstiltskin retelling too. But I like that he's so ambiguous in this story that you don't really know where he came from. So there's a lot that you can build on in that. Is he a fae? Is he just some weird little man? Where does his magic come from? So I like that he's so ambiguous.
He's kind of like Santa Claus.
Yeah. And then you never really know who's the bad guy in the story.
He's Krampus, I guess, but he's more like Krampus.
Yeah.
But
what was that?
I said you never really know who's the bad guy in the story. The king, Rumpelstiltskin, and the father who sells his daughter off to the king. Like everybody's just
terrible,
awful in their own way.
Yep, that's how a lot of our stories are in this. We stayed true to that part, at least.
Yeah.
Good, I love that. I kind of love watching. Yeah, I love watching terrible people get what's coming to them.
Well, we have the product for you.
Yeah, 6 wonderful stories of people getting what they deserve.
Yes.
Well, you heard it here first, everybody. If you want to see awful people get what's coming to them, then you need to pick up Things Magical Under the Moon. When is it going to be available for purchase?
We are doing our best to have pre-orders open August 1st, and then have our release at the end of August.
Perfect. So it's coming up fast.
Yeah.
You guys excited? Nervous?
Yes.
A little bit of both?
All of the above.
All of the above. It's been a lot of work.
It's been a lot of work, but it's also like just really exciting after all this time to see it happening.
Yeah. I can't wait to just like open the box and pull it out and be like, wow.
That's the best feeling.
It is. And to know that because I have some that I'm in that other publishers have done, but to know that Amanda and I worked on it fully all ourselves is like the holy grail.
Yes.
Holy grail of hobbies turning into real life.
I love that so much. So, do you guys, either one of you, have other things out, books or short stories, or is this your first published?
I have stories and a bunch of other things. I have a short in Lost Boy Press's Chimera. I have a short in I have them all in the back over right here. So. I have Just a Little More Magic, which is that one's really fun because it's a detective story, and I have a plant daddy vampire detective in it. He's really fun because he has his curtains set to a timer, so that way while he's sleeping they open so his plants can get sunlight.
Aww.
It's just my favorite part. That one's like more wholesome and sweet story. And then I have one other story in a charity anthology called Autumn Nights, and that one's got bats in it. That one's a bat theme, so that was really fun.
Very cool. Okay, and of course, I will have the links for all of these and their socials in the description if you guys want to find everything. And yeah, all of that will be in my description. So I'll get you guys to send me your links after.
Perfect.
We're done. So, Did you guys know each other before Twitter, or did you meet on Twitter?
We met on Twitter.
That's so
We met on
awesome.
Twitter. I don't remember how I started following Amanda. She probably posted something Lord of the Rings, and I was like, I like this person. And I was actually just thinking about how I initiated like realizing that she lived close to me, and I was like, I wrote her privately, and I was like, hey, are you in this area? And then I was like, and I'm not trying to be weird or anything. And she's like, yeah, I do. And I was like, cool. If you ever want to like get coffee during the day in a very public place, I would love to meet up and discuss writing and stuff. And she was like, okay. And she like left me on red for like months.
As I'm known to do.
And I was like, okay, like I'm gonna back off because it's creepy on the internet. But we engaged like publicly on Twitter. And then one day she just wrote me and was like, do you still do hair? I need a haircut. And I was like, yes, come in. When do you want to come in? Right now.
Pretty much.
And after that, I was like, all right, you got kids, I got kids, let's hang out, and the rest is history. I don't remember when we stopped hanging out.
No.
We haven't.
Nope.
It's been
That's
a wonderful
amazing.
3 years of best friendship.
That's super amazing.
And now here we are.
Not a lot of people think that online, like people in our community get it, but people who aren't like a part of online communities, they don't get online friendships. And it's so cool whenever you see people like you guys who meet in real life and just click and become best friends. And I love that.
Yeah, definitely. My partner is actually very not online-y at all.
Yeah.
So when I told him that I was meeting Amanda, he's like, okay, you're meeting somebody from online. I was like, what's the difference of just meeting a client for the first time and they're sitting in your hair chair, I was like, it's the same thing, except that I knew her before she signed up for a haircut.
Yeah.
And so now he's always like, well, Amanda's the exception. Obviously, she is amazing, and somehow you found her. He's like, but everybody else is weirdos. I was like, I like weirdos.
My partner's also not very online. He's like Facebook, and that's it. But he's very supportive, so
that's that's the most important. Like, it's okay if you guys don't get it, as long as you're supportive and you come with me if I think it's too scary.
Right. Yeah, I think that we're planning a trip to Texas to meet up with somebody.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, sometime soon, I hope.
Not too soon. They have crazy heat waves right now.
Oh yeah, definitely after summer's over. I can't be outside in the heat. It's too much.
No. That's not where the books are. Books are inside.
That's right. That's why we're writers.
We can take them outside, yes.
Amanda, let's talk a little bit about your art. And I know you've been going to cons lately, and what's that like? How exciting is that?
It is very exciting. I was so scared when I was first starting. Like, I put it off, and then I finally applied to Rose City Comic Con for the second time, and I was waitlisted again, second time in a row. And then I was like, I'm just going to prepare this time as if I'm going to get in, like somebody told me to do last year, but I didn't. So I did, but then I got in. I got accepted off of the wait list at the last minute. You have like 2 weeks to prepare.
Yeah.
If you get on
Oh,
the,
wow.
wait list.
It's insane.
And I was so scared, but then once I was in there and just doing it, it was just a lot of fun. You meet tons of people, and you get to see all the cosplays all weekend. And I got to meet Sam and Frodo, so that just made my entire life. Yeah. And it was extra cool because at the last minute I decided to also get a photograph with them. And so I got a picture of me holding this piece of art that I finished at con with them, and then they signed it, and it was like seriously the best day ever.
Imagine that sounds awesome.
Yeah, and then I've got a Halloween themed convention at the end of this month that I'm really excited for.
Jealous.
Yeah. They've got like a whole hall dedicated to like haunted house setups that's free for people to come in and walk through.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
She's coming with me to that one.
She doesn't look very excited.
No, I am excited. I just can't remember what day it was.
It's
Oh.
the last weekend, 29th.
I know I went online and was looking up stuff on Comic-Con and then realized that there was also a horror convention the same weekend, just a little bit further away, and I was like, dang it. I might have gone to the horror convention instead if I hadn't already started planning for the Comic-Con convention.
Well, now you know for next year.
Yeah, so next year I'll probably go to the horror convention instead because I'm obviously very into horror.
Yes.
So do you do good business?
It's not been bad. I've at least doubled my investment usually when I go, which I always take as a huge win. And even on the other markets that aren't as busy, I always keep a list of everything that I've learned from that, make little notes of, I want to do this time, usually from seeing what other vendors are doing. You meet new people and make new contacts. I started making friends with some people that run the different markets and stuff, which is helpful because then they share other ones with you.
Right. I think that's kind of
even if they're not
going to the cons.
It's a big community, just like the writing community.
Exactly.
And most vendors like to look out for each other, so they're like, hey, are you going to this one? Or are you going to that one? And sometimes if they have ins, then they'll be like, oh, you should email this person.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of nice to kind of like have community on both ends of our projects like that.
Exactly.
Right. I mean, that's another reason I wanted to go was because networking and
it's a great way to network.
Yeah, like I write, but I also someday maybe would love to get into doing makeup and props in the industry. So that was
Definitely
another
horror
thing on my
convention
list.
for you.
Yeah, that was another reason on my list to start going to cons, was like, because that's a good place to network if you're already dressed up anyways and have props and have your work with you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What costume are you working on right now?
I'm doing Apple from Turbo Kid.
Oh, I love Turbo Kid. That's
Do
so
you?
good. Yes.
Listen, I vet people on if they know Turbo Kid or not.
I only know it because I have a obscure Comic-Con friend who was like, you have to see this movie. And I was like, okay. I mean, you're weird. I'm weird. I'm going to take your recommendation. And luckily it was on something streaming at that time. And it's amazing. I love that movie.
It's my favorite movie. It's so good.
I can't wait to see your cosplay. It's going to be great.
I just finished my gnome stick over the weekend. So this week I'm going to be working on my jumpsuit, and then I'm waiting for my helmet to come in the mail so I can paint it. But
yeah, it's going to look
all
good.
coming together.
We got to work on our cosplays.
Are you guys going to dress up for the con?
Well, because I'm also doing Comic-Con again this year, and so we were planning basically couples cosplays to do all weekend.
Yes.
Cute.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what are you guys going to do?
I think the one I'm most excited for is Team Rocket.
I love it.
We're going to do Team Rocket. I think that one's pretty solid. The rest, we kind of keep just throwing out these couple ideas, but we need to actually start working on that. Another one that I threw around, especially for Sunday. Sunday is usually lazy cosplay day.
Yeah.
I was like, let's do Wayne and Garth.
You guys should. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love it.
Basically how I dress anyway.
Right.
Exactly. That's why it's lazy cosplay.
I
was going to say, I can imagine Amanda has that stuff in her closet.
Pretty much. And then I have my David Bowie Jareth wig, and without the costume and the makeup, it looks like Garth's hair. So I was like, party on.
That's awesome. Yes.
So that'll be fun. If anything, even if we have no sales, I know people are going to be coming wow, you guys' costumes are great.
Yeah, and maybe that'll bring you guys sales. So
Exactly.
Having high energy behind the table definitely gets people's attention and gets them excited because they see you excited, and then they usually try
right,
to come and engage. So
Definitely. It also helps to have amazing art on the table.
she does.
She be great.
Yes, Amanda is like one of the first people I followed on Twitter, and then of course I left for a while and I came back and it was like immediately have to follow Amanda again. I've been a fan
Yeah.
forever,
Oh, I love you.
and I'm so glad that I got to have you on the show and talk to you about it now. So, and get your
Aw.
name out there and talk to you about your guys' writing. I'm so excited about the book. It sounds so awesome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. We are
I'm really
so
excited.
excited.
Yes. Yes. It's been even more exciting because I guess we didn't really expect such a great response from everybody
Yeah.
on it, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, like how did you keep this so secret?" And we were like, because we were afraid we wouldn't finish it.
Yeah, 'cause we didn't tell anybody. Nobody knew that we were working on
Yeah,
this.
not even our closest like group chat. We were just like, don't tell anyone.
Mhm.
That is smart. I should have done that with the anthology I'm supposed to be working on and not writing.
Oh yeah. Sometimes it's good to have little secrets to yourself because
Mhm.
then like the pressure isn't as harsh, I guess. It's just kind of like your own pressure and you know what you can handle mentally. So you're like, you know
Right.
what? I didn't work today, that's fine. Nobody's relying on me.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it was
have a
just us
deadline.
two, and sometimes we were like, I'm sorry I'm not going so fast today, and it's like, it's
Yeah.
fine. I was hyped up, so I was like, okay, I'm done.
I think I had to work through the worst case of writer's block for a very long time. But
Yeah.
honestly, this one's writing stream really helped break through that.
Really.
Those are good.
What is your writing stream called? Because I'm sure people could out there could use that help too.
It
I
doesn't
know
really.
I
It doesn't
could.
have a. I haven't named it. It's just writing group on Thursdays.
Yeah, so
I
it's
guess.
just her
And that's
username on Twitch.
Yeah, it's my username on Twitch at Alexis X Aesthetic. And every Thursday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we just hang out for about an hour 15, I think. And we start with talking about like how our day was, and then we go into how our writing week went, like if we've met any goals or you know and then we kind of discuss like a topic or something like mood setting or writing food or what's the last time what did we talk about last time?
We've done like world building.
We've talked about
character art,
curse words in your book. We've talked about I don't know, all kinds of things all the time. Then we do.
It's a good topic that a lot of people don't think about discussing because
Yeah, I try
be
to find
careful
really like
when and how you
yeah,
use curse words.
right, exactly. So that one was fun because we all kind of went into word search and like typed in like a random cuss word and was like, okay, how many of these cuss words do I have? And I was like, oh man, I have one, and it's like at the end of the book. Everyone's like, what?
Yeah.
Because I cuss a lot, so I was like, I didn't know what age range I was writing my book in originally, so I kind of just went on the error of just like keeping them out for now.
Yeah.
And now that I've decided that it's adult, I went in and put some appropriate cuss words in there.
I didn't with my fantasy books. They were supposed to be new adult, but I don't know. They're very watered down. There's like no curse words and no sex and they're very child appropriate. So
That's how mine was. I was going for new adult, and I think I wrote more on the YA.
yeah.
But the whole theme of the book was too adult, kind of to stick with YA. And so now I'm kind of like it's technically new adult, but I know that a lot of people don't consider that an age range,
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna call it adult, and that's fine.
Yeah. That's what my
There are
was
those
like.
situations, so that's fine.
There was murder and things, but not a lot
There's
of
a
cuss
lot of
words and
murder.
sex.
There's a lot of murder in these books.
Yeah. And Amanda, weren't you working on a novel? You're still
Yes.
working on a novel?
Yes, I actually been working with writing community member Stephen Black as a editor, and he's been sending me amazing developmental notes, and so I've been going through those and doing another pass. She's a thick book right now. She sits about 152,000 words.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Big.
Yeah. It's called Starlight and Ashes, and I'm hoping to get it out soonish by the end of the year.
Great.
It'll be a surprise, like our anthology.
Right? Lots of exciting stuff going on right now.
Yeah.
My mic's super loud. Let's see. 30-minute mark. I have a game to play. But it's kind of short.
Well, there's two of us, so I bet it can be long.
Okay. So I have quotes from Grimm fairy tales. And I'm going to say the quote, and then you guys have to tell me. So since there's two of you, though, you're against each other.
Oh,
So,
enemy.
Yes. Whoever gets
friends to enemies. Oh no.
Whoever. Yes. That's right. We got to change it into tropes on this show. Whoever guesses what fairy tale it's from first gets the point. So, are you ready?
Yes.
As I'll ever be.
As you'll ever be. Okay. Let no one ever say that a poor tailor cannot do great things and win high honors. All that is needed is that he should go to the right smithy, and what is of most consequence, that he should have good luck.
Is it a tailor? That doesn't. I've read that one. It doesn't sound like it's. You can't whisper. She can't hear you.
I don't want to be wrong.
Just guess. See, this game will be very long.
We'll say Rumpelstiltskin. I don't know why I told you.
Are those your final guesses?
Yes.
Sure.
It is the glass coffin.
Oh, the glass coffin.
I totally knew that.
I didn't. I did not know. I had no idea. I knew that Taylor was too obvious, but I was like,
It's not in my book.
Oh, okay.
I think it's in mine.
No cheating.
I'm not cheating. It's
Okay.
back there. You would definitely see me get it.
All right. My mother killed her little son. My father grieved when I was gone. My sister loved me best of all. She laid her kerchief over me and took my bones that they might lie beneath the juniper tree. Quit, what a beautiful bird I am.
So the funny thing about that is one of my stories is based off of that one.
Yep.
The juniper tree.
Okay.
I love that one. That is the original. That was the very first one I wrote. I love that story so much. It's so dark and so terrible.
Oh.
Completely awful. That I was like, I want to do this one.
I'm death, and I make all people equal.
Is that it? That I make all people equal.
I don't know.
You don't have a guess at all. Is it okay? Is it really obscure, or is it?
I have never heard of this one.
Okay. Okay. Great. trying to think of all the ones that I haven't heard of.
How would you think of one you haven't heard of?
No, I mean like one that okay, I'm trying to think of one I haven't heard of in pop culture.
Oh,
Is what I meant to say. Is what my brain thought. God,
I'll just throw out a random one of the Crows.
are you just throwing out a random title?
Yes.
The Fox and the Wolf? You have a mic problem.
It's super loud. I can hear it over your guys' thing.
Oh,
Turn it down. Okay. No, it is Godfather Death.
Godfather Death? Oh my.
I never heard of it.
I've never heard of that one.
And I just want to say that when I was trying to find these quotes, it was so complicated because they were just not telling me what they were from.
Oh, they were just giving you random quotes.
Yeah, I could find all the quotes I wanted all day long, but they wouldn't tell me what story they were from.
Did you have to do like reverse search where you type in the whole quote?
For some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, this one should be easy, so you guys might have to shout it out to see who gets it first. Okay. If only I had a child as white as snow, as red as blood, and as black as the wood of the window frame.
Snow White.
Yeah.
Yep.
Snow White. It's like, no.
I psyched myself out. I was like,
you psyching yourself out, psyched me out. I was like, no.
I was like, no, that's too obvious. But even though she said it would be obvious, but maybe it was too
I mean,
obvious.
she kind of gave us a hint that it was obvious.
I know, but then
This is why we shouldn't self-doubt ourselves.
I know.
Roo coo coo, roo coo coo. No blood at all in that shoe. The foot's not long and not too wide. The true bride's riding at his side.
That's the Cinderella.
Yes.
Good job.
On the board.
A baby has brains, but it doesn't know much. Experience is the only thing that brings knowledge, and the longer you are on Earth, the more experience you are sure to get.
We picked some hard ones.
It's been so long since I've done the Grim research.
What is that one?
You don't know?
No.
It is The Wizard of Oz.
Oh, well.
Have I read The Wizard of Oz?
I don't know. I've just watched the movie.
I think I started. I don't think I've ever read the Wizard of Oz. I think I started it and then got distracted by probably something with dragons.
Right. I don't think I've ever read it. I think that the only time it was like around me, I was little.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I think I got it like on Kindle when they were doing like a big sale once. This was like when Kindle very first came out. So it's been in my Kindle library for a long time.
Wait a second to process that.
I had like the first Kindle reader.
I was gonna say, yeah, I had a Paperwhite and then I broke it, and then my Kindle's a second generation.
Yep, I had the Paperwhite one and stepped on it.
Oh no.
Yeah. My little one's got a Kindle, but it's never charged, so I can't read on it.
That's not useful.
I know.
That's the problem with electronic books. It's when your stuff isn't charged, you can't read.
My paperbacks are always charged. Okay. Pull the bobbin, my child, and come in as you ought. I'm in bed, very bad with my aches.
Little Red Riding Hood.
Oh.
Yep. That was quick.
I know that's one pretty well. Yeah.
Come on, phone. Magic isn't something that can be explained. It simply is. It takes while it gives. So I have given you magic, and now it must be paid.
That sounds like Rumpelstiltskin.
Yep.
It's okay, Amanda. If this was Lord of the Rings book, you would maybe win. Maybe.
If I held up art pieces, we probably would win.
There you go.
Winning at something in life.
Art.
They can't order me to stop dreaming.
No, but I know that.
Cinderella.
Yep.
See, I know that
Why didn't you say it?
because I didn't know. It was like not.
You would not be good on Jeopardy.
No, you think?
I'd be like, Bud. Wait, what was the question?
I'm still processing the question.
Still
at that point.
processing the first one.
Where am I?
Yeah, that would be me too. I'd be like, what? I forgot what you said.
Exactly.
Pretty much. I'd be
Okay,
squinting to see the board.
Mhm.
Last one. This one's not a Grim one though, because
Okay.
it got really hard to find them. Okay. It is not in doing what you like, but in liking what you do that is the secret of happiness.
That's way too happy to be a Grim tale for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that's such a like ambiguous. Whoa,
It sounds like something that is really happy.
Anderson.
I mean, he wrote The Little Mermaid. That was not.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I give up. Too
Pass.
happy for me.
It was
We don't
Peter
know.
Pan.
Peter Pan. Oh,
Yes.
that doesn't make sense.
I threw up. I forgot.
Oh, that's dark. I'm gonna promptly go read Peter Pan after this.
Yeah, I know. I need to read it. I've never read the original, but I've read a bunch of Peter Pan retellings.
There's so many. There's so
They're
many.
so good. The Child Thief is my favorite.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to look that one up.
It's a good one. It's very adult.
Oh,
I like that.
Yes, it's very adult. So that one's not for you kids out there.
Sorry.
So now is your guys' time to plug your socials, your book, your art, your everything. This is your moment.
okay. I'm Amanda everywhere. Find me on way too many social media platforms under that username, or you can go to my website. That's batwordsmedia.com.
Okay. And on all social medias, I am Alexis Xthetic, and you can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, but I'm not active on there, and Instagram. Eventually, I will probably be on some of the other ones, like Threads or something, but as of right now, that's where you can find me. And I do not have a website because I'm not cool.
All of their links will be in the descriptions, of course. You can find me on Twitter. I'm not as organized as them, so not all of my usernames are the same. Jax2_ on Twitter, JS Larmore on Instagram, and Jax the Tiny Raptor on TikTok. I am on Blue Sky now, but I've not been very active over there, and that's Jax the Tiny Raptor as well. And here on YouTube at Ravens and Writing Desks. So thank you, ladies, for joining me. I had so much fun. Um, I can't wait for your book to come out. That's Things Magical Under the Moon, and it should be hopefully available for pre-order August
August
1st.
1st. And
So
then
follow them on their
available for
socials,
purchase.
and you can watch out for that.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for coming. And thank you.
Thank you.
It was so fun. Thank you all for joining us. Please like and subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any episodes. And thank you for joining us on Ravens and Writing Desks.